Alright, go ahead and put your pencils out for now. Raise your hand if you got through like the first left side. Okay, raise your hand if you got through to like number 16.
Like past 16?
Like to number 16. Alright, so put your hands down. So, what we're gonna do, just so I can kind of see how quickly it trails off. So, raise your hand if you got to number 10. That should be everybody, because everyone had their hand raised when I said one. So, keep your hand up if you got to 11. Keep your hand up if you got to 12. Keep your hand up if you got to 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. Alright, so 20 is where there's only like 5 of us left. Okay, I just trying to get an idea of where, so for the most part, y'all, when we're going through these, you're just checking your work for the majority of the, well, for all of the first side and the majority of the second side. Okay, so pencils should not be in our hand unless you're erasing or you're adding to your work. Alright, so number 1, it says explain the difference between a statistical question and a non-statistical question. So, tell me, what is the big thing for a statistical question? Like, what are we looking for when we ask these questions, Raheem? Variety. Okay, what about a non-statistical question? What are you looking for when you ask that question?
Like one answer.
Alright, so you're looking either for one answer or for like a yes-no answer. Alright, number 2. It says, which data set shows less variability for the spread? So which one has less of a spread? Is it, actually we'll do like stand up, sit down, get a little bit of movement going. So stand up said data set A. Alright, so have a seat. Why does data set A work for the less variability? Like how do we, let me rephrase that question, that was a terrible question. So data set A, how, like what 2 numbers are we using to find the range? Let's start with that. What 2 numbers are we using to find the range? Charles?
3 and 8.
You said 3 and 8?
Yes.
Okay, and then for data set B, what 2 numbers are we using to find the range? Bailey?
29.
Okay, so if nothing else, find the range and see which one is smaller, right? Okay, so you should have took data set A for that one. Alright, looking at number 3, it says, what could this dot plot be measuring? So, what do we think? And there might be more than one answer for this, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think that this could be measuring? Cooper, thanks for volunteering.
Me? I had to skip that question. I couldn't think of it.
You couldn't think of anything that it could measure?
Nope.
I couldn't.
Okay. Other Cooper.
I put the amount of baskets scored by 50 basketball players.
Look at that. So baskets scored. Okay, what's another one? Hunter.
Times you picked up your phone.
Ooh, that'd be like 4,085 for y'all.
Yep.
Yes.
Agreed. In the past week?
Maybe a little bit.
No, in a day.
I was say past 7 hours.
Oh, 0.
Raheem,
8 people kindergarten to 3rd grade.
say that again.
8 people kindergarten to 3rd grade.
Ooh, I like that. All right. Cora.
I said how many pencils they have.
Or how many pencils they eat of Miss Kenny's? Because it'd be like probably 9 to 20 a day. All right. So pencils they own. All right, let me get one more. All right, Michaela.
How many roller coasters do you ride or been on?
Okay. Oh, I'm splitting that now. Alright, so Cooper, go ahead and pick one of those really good topics and write it on your paper. If you did have to skip this one because you were just unsure, you weren't exactly like, what are they asking? That's what they're asking. So what could the data have represented? Alright, so number 4 says what percentage of students in the dot plot spend more than 5 hours on homework. And it's really nice of them because they said that there are 25 dots, so you don't have to count. Alright, Jeremiah, what did you come up with?
I got 24%.
24%? How did you figure that out?
Because since it's like more than 20 since it's more than 5 hours, I didn't think to like include 5, so I just counted the dots 6 through 9, and I got 6, and I did 6 divided by 25, and I got 0.24. So I think I got 24%.
Alright, did anybody get something different?
I didn't get anything different, but I did it in a different way.
As long as you have the same answer, technically the right answer, I'm okay with finding it a different way. How many of you guys included 5? Like you included 5 hours. The dots on 5
What
hours.
if you get a different answer?
You will get a different answer. So if you included those 2 dots on the 5 hours, you are gonna get a different answer. So if you did that, just erase it, make sure you get this information down. You have to be careful that you don't include, if it doesn't say 5 or more hours, then we include, but if it says more than 5 hours. And I know that's something that we know, but it doesn't mean we always remember. Alright, so for 5 through 8, so 5, 6, 7, 8, you're using this dot plot to the left. It says describe the shape / spread of the graph. So what does our graph look like? Is it super spread out? Like tell me something that you notice about the graph. Jack.
So I would say it has a big range, but not quite spread out, so it's still one thing that's spread out.
And what makes our range large but our data close? What does this graph essentially have?
An outlier.
Alright. Anything else you guys want to add?
I was kind of confused on what it was asking, but I put a triangular shaped data spread that rises and falls.
That has nothing to do with
I know.
anything. Like I get it says describe the shape, but essentially like describing the shape would be talking about the mean, the median, the mode. Or just mean and median. The spread is talking about your range. Okay, so when it talks about the shape, you're looking for like the mean, the median, like is it super spread out, is it close together, that kind of thing. Alright, so true or false? Most of the data values in this dot plot are at least 6 kilograms. How many dots? Start with that. How many dots are on the dot plot? Did anybody count them? Y'all better get to count. Ethan, how are you counting the dots, baby, if you're not even looking at your paper? Oh, you're counting. Oh, God bless you. Fair enough, I'm sorry. My eyes would be all over the place. Kaylee, what'd you come up with?
38.
38?
Whoa, I got something way more.
I did too, when I counted them. Gabriel, what'd you come up with?
30.
No. Maybe I'm counting a different graph, but Jeremiah?
It's 50.
That's what I got.
Yes,
That's what I got 50.
Yeah.
I got 50.
I counted it twice and got 50, but again, I'm old and delusional, so
I got 52.
52?
No, 52.
50 as well.
Also, yeah.
Okay. Alright, so do we say then that most of the data, because if most or more, I can't even speak. Most of the data values are at least 6 kilograms or more. So if you count 6 kilograms, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So do we agree that most of the data is 6 or higher? No, we do not. So this would be false. And just why is it false? Based off of just figuring out that we have 50, half of 50 is 25, and from 6 to the highest number, there's only 12.
Since the majority is less than 6, it is false.
Right. And you don't have to put this, but this is something that you need to understand. So majority is less than, let's spell that even faster. Alright, number 7, it says, what is a typical weight in kilograms for the graph, or for the data in the dot plot? Sorry. Raheem, what'd you come up with?
I got it.
Uh-huh. Because again, if you find the median or the mean, you're between 3 and 4. Alright, true or false? This dot plot could be yes.
Olivia Greenberg is stepping out.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Olivia, if you need the answer key, it will be on campus. True or false? This dot plot could be showing the individual weights of a group of ants. So stand up if you said true.
Jennifer, you said what?
If you said true, that this could be showing the weight of ants. Are we
Are y'all
in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Kilograms?
Kilograms?
Kilogram is 2 pounds.
It's like something huge.
Like kilo is like ounces.
Like somebody saying, I tell it.
Again, are we in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? No, this is false.
In Ant-Man, there's this huge ant.
Okay, that's one person, and when he shrinks, he's teeny.
Yeah, but
And he's not an ant. So
when they went into the kilograms,
When they go to
even as a giant
now we know
person,
that.
no.
No, in the new movie, nobody's talking about his dad made like these ants, and they're huge, and they're like as tall as you. So technically, they would probably still be.
It's gonna actually happen.
But it's in the Marvel book, so it's true.
No! That's like saying anything on YouTube is absolutely like, no.
Every conspiracy.
No. No. Okay. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Lord have mercy, children. Alright, number 9. It says, what would be a typical age of the data in this histogram? So, what is our typical age? What does that word, typical, mean? Because we haven't really heard a whole lot of typical being used. Emily? Yeah, so essentially it's your average. So like what is the average age of a 6th grader? What is the typical age of a 6th grader? So that's what this is asking. So how do you go about figuring this out? So like, guys, refocus right now. Do you understand? So how do we go about figuring this out? Because we've talked very briefly about finding like the average or the median or anything like that on a histogram. So what do you have to do? Anybody know? Two? 30 people know?
I think I know.
Alright, Charles, what'd you do?
So, I just looked at the bar that was the highest
You can't do that.
within the line.
So, looking at the side over here, we have a number of frequencies, right? And then we have the age on the bottom. So if we essentially number off these frequencies, we find out how many of them are in each one of these. So essentially, you have to count your ranges. Come on, refocus.
Yeah, I got 55.
So it's going to be For 20 to 30, so for the age, the range of 20 to 30, you would do 20 to 30, 20 to 30. Why would we do 2? Why would we do 2 of those ranges? What is our frequency telling us?
Because it has 2 frequencies.
Right, because there's technically 2 in this one. Alright, so then for 30 to 40, how many 30 to 40s do you have? Raheem? 4. So then you would do 30 to 40, 30 to 40, 30 to 40, 30 to 40. Alright, so then how many 40 to 50s do you have? Jason? 40 to 50s.
Oh, yeah.
We have 4, so then you do 40 to 50, 40 to 50. Alright, how many 50 to 60s do we have? Mason.
5.
Okay, how many 60 to 70s? I don't know why y'all are not writing this down because I'm pretty sure none of you did it this like this. So, Raheem. So then I'm gonna do 60 to 70, 60 to 70, 60 to 70. How many 70 to 80s do I have? 1. And then how many 80s to 90s? 0. And then 90 to 100. Alright, so technically if I wanted to find the median of this data, now I just cross off from start to finish, start to finish, start to finish.
And then that would
But you cross off the range. You don't cross off just 20, you cross off that whole range. So it'd be there to there, to there. So your median, or your average, or your typical is about 50 to 60. You're gonna know an easy way. I'm just gonna leave because y'all are gonna punch me.
Is it what I did? She just got that same thing I did.
So all you have to do is just cross off the little boxes in your histogram circle.
That's what I did. Office.
Alright, so honestly though, that's it's important for you to understand and know this way, but it's also there's always an easier way. So you would just count 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you just count 10. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10.
I love that word.
Alright? So I must have added an extra one somewhere. But essentially that's how you would do it. Yeah.
Your first strategy that you showed us is pretty much what Imagine Math would like us to be. Correct?
This?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Too
Imagine
much,
Math
too
is
much.
crazy. Yeah, way too crazy.
Wait, but that means you
No, I don't make you do that. I just punish you for all the
You made us
wonderful
do
talking that you guys do when you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
I should have let you find the median of, or I'm sorry, the mean. So do you know how to find it? Just because, listen, you are going to get asked, possibly, I don't know if they still do it, they used to do it. 2 years ago they did. But to find the mean of a histogram. Essentially what you have to do is you add them all up and then divide them. So you add the ranges.
You don't know the exact numbers.
You add the ranges. And you get, yeah, it's just.
I would have
That's complicated.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you do like 50 plus, or 50 through 60.
Am I allowed to
plus
ask for your
70
help?
through 80.
How do you divide it, right?
120.
Do you add like 60 to 80 and 50 to 70?
You add 60 to 80, or you would add like 20 to 30, 20 to 30, then you would do 30 to 40, 30 to 40. Like, it's
How do you divide
That would
range?
have took up
The
brain-
number of
I'm doing
ranges,
my
like
brain.
the number of like,
Like, how do you do 20 to 30 divided by 20 or like 2?
That makes my brain
I'm
all
so
set.
glad. I'm so glad we.
I don't like thinking about
I
it.
really hope you don't have to do
What
that.
are we supposed to do?
I haven't seen it on the EOG in the last couple of years,
Thankfully.
so
That was
Imagine
enough.
us this year.
don't ask me questions about my pay grade. I'm here. That's it.
Are you talking to your phone?
I don't speak to you, so.
Okay.
So, number 10, it says describe the spread or shape of the data in the histogram. So, what's our spread or shape look like?
There's not much.
So it's not what Cooper said, that it's made up of triangles and the shape. No. What does the spread look like? Michaela.
It has a range from 20 to 80 and an outlier of 90 to 100.
All right. What about the shape? Like, tell me a little bit about the shape. Tell me about where the majority of the data is. Maybe what the mean is. What do you guys think? What do you think, Mason? Well, tell me what you wrote.
So I wrote like majority of the data is between 50 through 60.
Perfect. You said 50 through 60?
Yes.
How about 40 through 60?
Yes.
Alright, 11 and 12 are simply finding the mean. So when you add up 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, 45, and 47, what did you get? What was your total? Don't tell me anything else, just what was the total there? Hunter?
I got 280.
Yes. And Hunter, what do you divide 280 by?
You divided by 7
What?
because there was 7 numbers in the data set.
Right. There's 7 numbers in the data set. Also, how many days are in a week?
7.
So, paying attention to key things like that as well. Alright, so your answer for number 11 should be 40. So the average temperature is, or the average low temperature is 40. Alright, the next one you have to do, for me these are always difficult without a calculator because I spend a lot of time guessing, checking. Some of us are just really good at looking at it, it's this number and they get it right. Either way, I don't really care how you do it, but just understand that you have to figure out what the next score is for your, to determine your median, or your mean, sorry. So when you add these 4 up, you get 374 divided by 4, which gave you 93 and a half. Now, with knowing that that is 93 and a half and our mean is a 92, what do we know that our next score is going to be? Is it going to be higher or is it going to be lower? Lower. It's going to be lower because we have to bring that score down. So what I do is I take 374 and I start at like 85. And I add that and then I divide by 5. And then I add the next one, divide by 5. And see which one gives me 92. Yes?
Wouldn't it just be easier to do 92 times 5 and then add all these and then subtract that from?
That's what
If that's easier,
That's what
that's fine. I don't care. I'm just like, this is the way that I do it, but whatever works best for y'all, as long as we get that same answer.
Wait, what?
So when I did figure out it was 374 plus 85, 86 equals 460, and I divided it by 5 and got 92. If that is not how you did it, that is fine. What you need to know is that the score is an 86. Yes. Okay? How many of you guys got that one correct?
I said
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I was close.
I
Are
don't
you
think.
sure?
I don't think he.
How'd you solve it?
I did it the way Michaela did it. I just did 92 plus 5.
That's how I
That's
did
what I
it.
did.
And then
I'm
what?
not done yet. I had to erase
Oh,
it.
I thought I got it wrong.
Cooper, I thought you
I thought the answer was 93.5.
Don't be rude.
That's why I said I-
Absolutely not. Do you understand me? Because all joking aside, I'm not in the mood for rudeness today. Don't apologize to me, apologize to him. Because we know, hands down, he's a rocket science compared to you.
Dang, Miss Kitty.
My baby shoe. I got my children, so like if you're rude to Cooper or you're rude to Ethan, I'm gonna be mad at you and I'm gonna call you out. I'm just saying. I'm the only one who's allowed to do mean to y'all. Sure.
If there was an inequality, if you had to make an inequality of Charles on this side and Caleb on this side, it would go to Caleb all day. I think it was like I got dragged into this.
Caleb's like, I'm just sitting here.
Oh, can I say Caleb?
Miss Kitty pick Cooper.
I don't know these names. Cooper.
Yeah.
Charles and Cooper.
Would you
No.
do that though?
Y'all would be equal to. Cooper and Charles are equal to.
What is
Dang. Yes, Jason.
I was going to say, I didn't just do
Me personally.
And that's kind of what I do, but we all have our switch to privacy with the way that your brain works, so you do it yes and check. I'm surprised you don't have some like crazy algorithm that's like sitting in the back of your head.
for the first time, and then I just took 5 away from that.
Hey, I ain't mad at it. That's how I do it. I guess and check. So, all right, let's keep going. So number 13 says the colored pencils in your pencil pouch have the following lengths in inches. What is the median? So this one's super duper easy. Crossing off so you get to the middle. So what is your median for this one? 6. Christian, we have 6.
Don't call them out.
Okay. All right. Number 14. It says write the 5-number summary of the set. I'm sorry. Write the 5-number summary of the following set of data. So start with the 2 easiest ones. What is our minimum? What is our maximum? Ace.
5 and 20.
All right. So 5 and 20. And then when I go to find my median, what do you get when you find your median? We got double spirit fingers. I like it. Yes, sir. 11.
You did 5 crosses on your left side.
Oh.
Oh no, it's 10.5. It's
10.5. Yeah, we don't do it.
That's what I had.
Sorry.
I had 10.5.
Answer key has 10.5. See? See, I trust somebody and look what happens.
No, I only said that. No. I have 10.5 on my paper.
So why'd you tell me 11?
Because
Why are you lying to her?
I thought I was wrong.
No, like no kidding. Like I do keep you around to keep me in check because you know I'm half crazy and half the time I don't know what is going on. So.
A liar is
And we made mistakes.
You can't touch this.
Boy, bye. Everybody makes mistakes.
Because you asked somebody else, because you asked Cooper.
Possibly.
Yeah.
All right, Cooper. Let's keep going now. Let's prove everybody wrong.
Okay.
So.
It's 8 and 15.
I gotta check my answer to you.
Yes.
I agree. Correct. All right, so it should be 8 and 15. Stop, y'all. You're getting off task. All right, number 15. So it says compare the 2 box plots below. What are some things that you notice between these 2? Mason?
They have the same maximum.
Okay. All right, what else do we notice?
The Q1 and medium B is 2 numbers apart.
Okay. Well, it's much closer because we don't know exact. Okay. So Q1 and median are extremely close. All right. What else do we notice? Justin.
I would say that the quarter 3 and the median are kind of the same, not exactly the same, like almost.
Approximately.
Alright,
Quarter
so,
three.
so Q3
Yeah.
of A and median of B. Could be same. Alright. Cora.
I said that pot B has a greater median than pot A.
Okay, Christian.
I say A has a larger IQR and clear range.
Alright.
Say A has a larger minimum.
A what?
Larger minimum.
Okay. Alright, so lots of good observations. Again, there's no right or wrong with this one, it's just kind of knowing, showing that you understand. Alright, so moving on to 16, it says predict if the mean would be greater than, less than, or equal to, or approximately equal to the median in this dot plot. Then find the actual median and mean. How does it compare to your predictions? So, stand up if you thought originally it was greater than. Your mean was greater than your median. This was before you did any calculations. Okay, have a seat. Stand up if you thought your mean was less than your median.
I didn't.
When you that's fine. When you said mean, guys, have a seat. Stand up if you said it was approximately equal. So that's good, because it's not approximately equal. All right, and what is your median? What's the median here? Mason, what is your mean?
The two. It's like 2 point something.
What's your median, or your mean?
More, I meant 4.14.
Yeah. Dang it.
All right.
I was wrong.
But guys, and this is how you know, you should have known that it's going to be greater than, because if you have an outlier in your data, your mean, depending on which way it goes, is going to skew it one way or the other. It will not be very close to your, well, I mean, it's close, but it, like, so this one, our median is 3. With this outlier being greater, we know that our mean is going to be greater. Does that make sense? So without doing any calculations, if you're looking at a chart of data and you have an outlier that's super far greater, your mean is going to be much greater. If you have a outlier that is super low, your mean is going to be lower. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. Somebody had a question? Okay. Number 17. It says select all true statements about a dot plot. So stand up if you picked A, you can find the median. Stand up. Everybody should be standing, because a dot plot is this thing right here. Okay. So everyone should have that one circled. Have a seat. All right, stand up if you could find the mean of a dot plot. So you should be standing. Have a seat. Stand up if you can find the exact range. That is also correct. Have a seat. You can tell if the data is genuinely symmetric or not. So genuinely symmetric means that your data goes, for the most part, straight up and straight down. Like this one right here is symmetric. Okay, and you can tell that looking at a dot plot. Okay, so you should have selected that one as well. All right, this is the most effective way to show a lot of data values. Stand up if you pick that one.
I think a histogram, I think, since it has like.
But histogram is categorical. So think about this dot plot right here. There are 50 dots just right here. That's a lot of data, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where to me that's very much your opinion. So if you circled it, fantastic. If you didn't circle it, that's okay. I'm not gonna that's your thing, not mine.
So all
Either or. A through E, or A through D for sure. E is an option. Okay? Alright, so select all true statements about a box plot. So remember, a box plot is this thing. Okay? So, stand up if you circled, you can find the median. Okay, that one should definitely be circled. Alright, have a seat. Stand up if you said you can find the mean. Why is this one not working? Why can we not find the mean? Well, you don't know the exact number of values, and what else do you not know?
You don't know like the numbers. You just know the minimum value, so they can be
Right. So you have to know the values, and you have to know the number of values, and we don't have either one of those. Why are your shoes so much more important than a study guide right now? So that is not a true statement for a box plot. Stand up if you said you can find the range. Okay, you can find the range because you have what? Maximum and the minimum. Alright, and then D, it says you can tell if the data is genuinely symmetric or not. So how many of you guys were like, I just don't know on this one? Okay, fair enough. I appreciate the honesty. Because again, to me, like if you're looking at this top one, I mean your median is still super far technically to the right. So to me, I would say no. But it's all in how you perceive the graph. So I'm not gonna again say yes it is or no it isn't. If you circled it, fantastic. If you did not. Alright, 19. Select all true statements about a histogram. So stand up if you can find the median intervals. Yo, y'all better stand your little bodies up because they did not just do it over here.
I did.
I was about to stand up. I was like, wait, why?
Y'all were not about to do this.
I had to do it on paper.
I had to circle it.
Why?
Because I didn't want to be the only one
That's
standing
weird.
up.
You might be the only one that's right.
Miss Kenny, I thought you meant that you had to wait 10 seconds to stand up.
Nobody else is our lights need to rank every
Miss
10
Kitty,
seconds.
we're getting old, you know.
You're getting old.
Our legs
Yeah.
Hey, y'all getting old like that. I'm like,
No, you're
I'm
younger.
officially like a
You're young.
400-year-old elephant.
Miss Kitty, we have to get up.
Wow.
You? Alright, so B. You can find the mean.
Technically you can.
Technically you can, but we do not.
Okay.
I stood up.
Hooray.
I was gonna stand up.
Alright,
I'm right, but I'm not.
C. You can find the exact range of the data.
Keyword exact.
Yes.
It is.
Did she hear what she said? The key word is exact. We. No.
Because it's a histogram. I had to cough a little bit and I slipped.
No.
It's my hand slipped and like this is down my paper.
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah.
coughed. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then you can tell if the data is genuinely symmetric or
Yes.
not. That one is a yes.
Because look at the data, it could go up.
Guys, we are almost done checking out.
I'm gonna go home.
You and me both. Alright, number 20, it says what percentage of students in the dot plot spent less than 3 hours of homework? Which means, are we including the dots on 3 or no? No, we are not. It tells us that there are 25 dots in total. So how many dots are from 2 and below? Start with that. How many dots are from 2 and below? Raise your hand and tell me. Raheem. 10. Alright, Raheem, what are we dividing 10 by?
We're dividing 10 by
By what? Not 3. How many total dots do we have? 25. So when you do 10 divided by 25, you get 4 tenths. So 40%.
Yes.
Can we do it backwards?
I don't care what you do as long as you get that answer.
multiply it.
Guys, again, I am not one of those teachers that you must do it that way. That's the way I do it. If y'all do it a different way and it makes more sense and you get the right answer, stop touching that chair, put it away, sit in your own chair. I don't care how you find it, as long as you're getting the right answer. At the end of the day, that's what matters, is that you have 40% on your paper or on your test. Make sense? Fair enough? All right. There's no other chart to compare this to. So,
That's
just,
what I was
I put a question mark. I put
Alright.
a question mark on
huh?
it. I put a question mark on it.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened to it. I thought it was on the back. It is not. It is what it is. All right. So the average low temperature last week in degrees Fahrenheit was 40, 42, 44, 37, 35, 30, and 25. What is the average low temperature? Round to the nearest whole number. So when you added those all up, what did you get? When you added those, or if you haven't done it yet, please go ahead and do it now and then stand up. If you have your answer, you may stand up. If you haven't done it, please do it then stand up. What's up?
I've been wondering what that figure, that inequality up there on the board has been since
This?
it came up. Yes.
So, Mr. James is a BT mentor, and I used to work with him at HJ. He was the ELA Social Studies, and I was Math Science. And I worked with him for like 7 years. And now he's the BT mentor, so he like comes to school and he like helps out. And I'm sure you've seen him in Miss V's room and Miss Sandoval's room a few
Yeah.
times.
Oh yeah.
So he always just leave like messages on my board when I taught with him. He was a jokester, like I'd be in the middle of teaching, he'd come in and turn my projector off, or like was Mr. James. So then he came in one day and left me a message saying that he's less than or equal to me. So now he's a great person. So but yeah, that's what it is. Like Mr. Poppy left his joke over there.
Does he not come into your class?
No, I'm not a beginning teacher.
That beginning?
Yeah.
That is the most.
Worst joke ever.
It is hard to
follow.
Yeah, and then we have Noah, who will forever be any classroom I teach in. That will be like the saying that I go with.
Life is hard.
Get
Get
a
a
helmet.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw
you-
that.
like
Life
we
is
were-
hard.
We were having like that tough discussion one day with that class, and Noah,
Wait, 9 days?
Caleb,
Oh, that's what I thought. I like Jackson.
and like they were just, I was going in on him, and Noah looks at me and he raised his hand, and I was like, yes, Noah, I'm expecting like something like completely along the lines of what we were talking about, because he always like, he just understood, and he said, Miss Kenny, you know? I said, what Noah? What do I know? He's like, life is hard. Get a helmet. And I was like, it just like killed me. Like I couldn't even like finish my serious conversation. I was just like, I quit. So, like even last year for like our EOG quotes for teachers, that was my quote
Does he have?
Wait, how long has that been up there?
since last year. It was over there, but I had to put that stuff up, so I moved over there.
Yeah.
That's how
Did he write that on there?
I wrote it, but Noah signed it.
Okay.
So.
That's who was in here that one day.
All right. We should by now have, the majority should have at least the total. So when you add those up, tell me what do you get? 253, and what are we dividing this by?
How many days are a week?
7. All right. So when you round it, when you like do your math, you get like 36.467, something like that.
2006.
But we're rounding to the nearest whole number, so the average is 36 degrees. All right, questions? We're getting there. All right. Number, what?
Put a dot above 36.
Degrees. Yeah. All right, so 23 says predict if the mean would be greater than, less than, or approximately equal to the mean. All right, so take a minute, think about this. considering what the last one was. All right, stand up if you are saying that it would be greater than. Stand up if you are saying that it would be less than. Or stand up if it would be equal to. So why did the majority of us say less than? What was our reasoning? What was our reasoning? I mean, it's gotta be a reason y'all stood up, right?
Yeah.
Joseph?
Because there's judging on what I see, there's no outliers.
So you think, well then wouldn't it be approximately equal to if there's no outliers?
Oh yeah,
This
since
kid
if the
made
outliers
crap.
less.
All of us get it
All of y'all got it wrong.
No, what was it?
It is
My light-
approximately
I'm like-
equal to.
I'm like,
wrong.
no, I'm like,
Just kidding.
just kidding, my life.
Guys, all seriousness though,
I felt
like
it.
what Joseph said, he didn't see any outliers. So if you see no outliers, your mean and your median are going to be very, very, very close. Okay?
But like, I put that.
But what?
So if the outlier is lower than most of the data, then it's
Less than. Alright, last one, number 24. We have about a minute before the bell's gonna ring. So it says, what is the difference between the median and the mean? So your median for this one is 11. Your mean for this one is 12. So the difference is 1. So which one seems like a better measure of center and why? So does the median seem like a better measure or the mean? Brenna?
This isn't really the something that I've noticed about the question. The numbers looking, there's 7, not 6. There's an error for the measurements.
For this one?
For number 24.
Say that again?
It says
For number 24, it says there's 6 ones, but there's 5.
Okay, it's a typo. Okay, yeah, it just use the data. Yeah, that was a typo on my part. Our fault.
Will we include like one of them or get rid of one?
No, you just use the data.
Oh,
Like whatever the data set there. It was just a typo.
okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I got a
It would be the median because that's what's like in the middle of all the data. But well, the mean is just like the averages.
Okay. How many of you guys agree that it would be the median?
Yeah.
I disagree.
I like question.
Why?
It's because.
What do you notice about this last number?
It's a
It's an outlier. So what's going to be the better measure? The higher one.
The mean.
Because there is. Guys, stop. Get this down. It's important. Like all serious joking, whatever. This is important to understand. You guys have got to start picking up on this stuff. Because there is an outlier. All right, please look over this tonight. You do